at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Haribo, Haribo. He will wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Haribo, Haribo. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting Hari's names. Haribo, Haribo. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Haribo, Haribo. What's the value of your life?
It's LC the beat guy.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Gauranga. Gauranga Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nitai Gauranga Vishvambara Nityananda Gauranga Nityananda Gauranga Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Gauranga Gauranga Sri Krishna Chaitanya Gauranga 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Oh Gauranga Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Gauranga Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya 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 Gauranga Oh Gauranga Oh Gauranga Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
0.4558.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Purchase your tracks today.
Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Purchase your tracks
Hare
today.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Purchase your tracks today.
We're the Shakers. This is the Shakers group. The Vaishnava Shakers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Purchase your tracks today.
All right, turn your microphones on. Let's chant some japa. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, of names I am japa. Oh, let's communicate with the Lord. He's japa. Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Oh my God, this is fantastic, man. What a taste, man. Exquisite cuisine. That's all I have to say. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. We dine better than the elites.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. See how we've already won. Nobody chants like we do. Nobody. Even though they don't admit we're the winners here. Doesn't matter. We won already. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We won the game, the Sankirtan game, the Harinam game. Anybody wants to be winners, they're going to have to come here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Still can't see the elephant in the room? Oh, I'll change some more for you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We'll snap you out of the spell. Mass hypnosis, religious psychosis. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra.
Just when I just start to think it just can't get any better than this, it gets better. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
It's true.
See? Witness. We got a witness. Gohari ain't as crazy as he looks. She's worse. She's more crazier looking than that Gohari. And Johan, oh God, the guy's bananas, Evo knows it. I agree with you, Evo. Evo says it's a very big joke from our Lord that He has chosen you. Yeah, I think it's a great joke. It is really a big joke. It's like He chose Jesus, just the carpenter. You know, they think no, the Messiah ain't gonna come like that. No, no. Another taster, a taster of choice is not gonna come like a Goa Haridas with a t-shirt, man. No tilak on. No, he's gonna come on a big throne, a big or with a beautiful flowing dhoti and a nice bald head. Well, I got a bald head. And the Sika? Oh, no Sika. No, that's not. Yeah. Hey man, hey man, don't have to be envious there, you little gurus out there. Little, I have to say, you get little bhakti, you're just a little guru, man. Ooh, boy. I can say these things because we do big here, man. This is called big bhakti, man. And if you little boys out there, you little boys, if you want to come over here, we'll make you big boys, big gurus with big bhakti, real deliverers. Man, we'll get you to taste this holy name like Lord Caitanya tastes. What he has done, all men must do, including you. Otherwise, what kind of, hey, man, we want to get real here, man. See, the Lord came, he tasted this bhakti, man, became empowered to squirt that transcendental semen in the hearts of people.
I think Radhanath has a little bhakti.
Yes, we want to help everybody, man. Come on, you small men and women over here. Come, we'll get you big bhakti, man. My Lord is powerful. He's unlimited. He gave the assurance. He said, "You have anyone who has genuine love for me, real ecstatic prema bhakti, he's going to give himself to you through those persons." So we make you like that. That's called guru. That's a real guru in our real line. No, just anything else. That's the standard now. High standard here, You got to taste this ecstatic name to the point of tears and laughing like a mad woman like her. And then we make you real gurus, man. You can transfer it to others. Now, see, that's the real line. Now, why shouldn't everybody be glorifying that path? That's the real path. That's the real rasa. That's the real Krishna. That's the real Radha. That's the real devotees. That's the real spiritual master. That's the real acharya. That's the real prophets in this world. Being a prophet is very easy. You just come get this taste and you prophesize. Let the world enter the Sankirtan movement and chant the holy name in great ecstasy. That's the only prophecy you need. You don't need any. I agree with that UL guy, the Klaus Schwab's protege. You don't need to wait for this big Jesus with the long hair and a beard coming in the cloud. No. You just come here, get this taste, and then he's come again inside you. He's come inside you. Ooh, yes. You will feel it. You'll be amazed. You'll be ecstatic. You'll go, ooh, I've been impregnated by the holiest of Holy Spirits. Why be overconfident unless you're God himself? I'll just tell you what Jesus said. What? You think only God can save people? Bring those crippled-minded persons over here. Look, he brought me Lalita. She was cripple-minded before mine. Look at her now. She's intelligent. She's happy. See? So you think God didn't deliver her? He needed an instrument. And that's Gaur Haridas. Again, it's just a fact there at the room. What can I say, man? See? The Lord is like this. He likes to engage in projects in tandem. He doesn't like to do it alone. See, what is it? You're looking for God to do, be overconfident. No, he's overcome. You want to see the overconfidence of God? You meet a real devotee. then you get to begin to understand the overconfidence of God. They're assured, they're very sure for themselves, both the Lord, and you get that communicated through his real devotees because they're very tight. Almost inseparable partners, man. Simultaneously one and different. See? All the qualities, 50-something qualities of the Lord are in the devotee. I was amazed. I heard that yesterday. I got to look how many qualities. Yeah, 50 qualities of God. So I got to analyze how many qualities are manifesting in Lalita. I'm going to count them. I only got a few, but they develop more and more, you know. The closer are you to the Lord, then these qualities, they're transcendental, man. And people, the greatest scholars can't see them. That's the Lord Maya, is very good, man. You think these elites do a number on people, on the masses. Oh, the Maya, the Mahamaya. Oh, the Yoga Maya is also. That's why religion's not good enough. You got to get the association of those who have taken shelter of truth. You know, that's where you get it. And if you don't, you stay in religion. That's the thing. These people will stay in religion and die in religion, die in the religious like ceremonies and external. They call it external bhakti. This is internal bhakti. See, it comes by getting the gift of this taste. I can't help it. The Lord, I don't know how I just kind of just was kind of there. It was easy, you know. That's why it must have been some kind of past life thing or something, you know, it just came. But if you've got it from a past life, it'll be because you got it from a Vaishnava. That's why the Lord came as a Vaishnava. Those who met him, some didn't even get it to him. They didn't believe. But then they believed when the witness program happened, just like here. Not a lot of people believe right now, but you believed, many of you got the taste, and you're in the witness program, then you will convince so many others. Same thing with Jesus. It's always like that. A lot of people didn't believe in Lord Caitanya until like Devananda Pandit was a good example. He didn't believe in Lord Caitanya and his devotees, but he started to see, they started to get witnesses. And then he saw this Vakreshwar Pandit who could dance extraordinarily, man, in ecstasy, like tears and all that stuff. And he became attracted and became purified. And then Lord Caitanya called him and said, oh, okay, because you served my devotee, all your sins are forgiven. Okay? That's how it works. Always work like that. Always will work like that. If anybody's preaching any different, they're an illusion. What can I say, man? They're on the long path, and they're teaching you the long path. They'll tell you some things like, do austerities, earn your way to the kingdom. First deserve, first show that you're a great soul, a superstar devotee, and then Krishna will give you the mercy. Christians are overconfident too. That's true. Not all of them, but many of them, because they have the mercy. It's kind of goes with the territory. Advaita was overconfident. Nityananda was overconfident. Prabodhananda and Saraswati was overconfident. It's not overconfident. You know what it is? It's not overconfidence. Overconfidence is not right. That's not a good word. It's excessively confident. Everything is it. Yeah, go ahead, Alita. What?
Yeah, but he says humility for me is being cautious nowadays. I'm like a nobody. But it's not because you're overconfident that you don't have the consciousness that you're a nobody. It's not about being anybody, being somebody, not at all. Being overconfident is being overconfident in the Lord and in his concept.
Yeah. Yeah, so what did he say? He said what now?
Humility is being cautious nowadays. I'm like a nobody.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad he said that. Yeah, it's a good thing to discuss. First of all, yeah, and that's natural. Gradually, by being here, you're going to get in touch with a power that most of mankind, most of the demigods don't even know. This is what some of the Christians, they call the dunamis power. It's the power of the transcendental Lord. See? It's a transcendental potency. And you become confident in that because it manifests in your even though, like I can say I'm a nobody, but that energy is something. Okay, that energy is substance. That energy comes through here. That energy is the source of my preaching. The source of my taste is that attraction. They call it Bhakti Lata Bij. It grows, like Lilita knows, grows, gets stronger. It becomes a source of you being able, getting the power to deliver others. If they want to get delivered out of illusion, out of even the Mayavadi level, they have to go through you. Because most of those gurus that I've seen, actually I would venture a guess, 99.9%, probably 9.9% in Vaishnavism don't have this spiritual potency. I haven't seen it. I don't think any of you, if you guys have seen it, show me. I'd like to see it. I don't mind being wrong. It'd be wonderful to have real empowered devotees actually delivering people in this life. But it's a special potency of the Lord, and that's the demonstration. That's the way. When people start to get it, that's why Lolita and everybody else that's getting this say, this is great, man. What a new life. What a wonderful energy. You know, this has changed my life, man. I like living under this energy, this shelter, this influence. It clears you, it cleans you, it purifies you, it enlightens you. Literally, you lighten up. It awakens you. It gives you understandings that you just can't get on your own. This is why people are cripple-minded. They have to get in touch with their transcendental. See, transcendental is the key word. Transcendental source. We're meant to be connected that way. That's our witness here in the world now. Gradually, people will see, wow, there's something extraordinary happening there. Right now, you know, people are sleepy, you know, in religion, they're sleepy, you know, and they got all these quality, envy, jealousies, and gradually, our meetings here holds back Kali Yuga, pushes it back.
XRP 0.4572.
There's no other practical way, you know. There have to be devotees. Not that they're only devotees in Vaishnavism. They could be Christians also. Christians, anybody sincerely connected with God's transcendental servants are the workers for the kingdom. See, they will exclude me because they don't understand, but I won't exclude them. If they have the symptoms of bhakti and be empowered by the transcendental presence of the Lord, the Holy Spirit, everything, the Lord can use them in this world, you know, to help purify people, deliver them. But, you know, this is up a notch or 2 or 3 or 10. I mean, I wish I had this clarity when I was just into Christianity, and I wasn't even into it much. It wasn't intelligent enough for me, even though I had the spirit. I didn't like this idea. These things they teach, God kills His Son and has to go that way.
Their ecstasy is nice, but their Vedanta is nothing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They lack the Vedanta, the Siddhanta. And the Vaishnavas, they have the Siddhanta, but they lack the ecstasy. Therefore, they can't understand the Siddhanta. They can't relish it and taste it. So that's where we step in. It's our contribution for the.
And you've got it all, and you give it all.
Yeah, and then I get more. I love this stuff, man. You give it all, and you get all. You get more. Freddie, many say things out of false humility, like I'm a nobody. Yeah, that's just that's not a it's just not knowing. So that's I'm here to clear. I know how that is to be. You know, you just don't know what this True humility is a transcendental mood. Devananda Pandit was a good example. He had humility, but it's like a mode of goodness humility. Kind of maybe like Radhanath's humility. He's kind of like, people think he's very humble. And on one level, he might be, but they're very humble until they meet a real devotee who has this real spiritual pose. Then the competition comes out. Look at Devananda Pandit. He was very humble according to the world standards. But then Srivas manifested ecstatic love. He let them throw them out, grabbed them by the hair and threw them out. The class.
He did not accept you, Radhanath, so he's not that humble.
That's why I say it's a kind of a mode of goodness thing. It's not pure. You can be this kind of humble, but there's still impurity, still could be jealousy in it. You know who was humble? Good. We have Bhagavatam examples. Daksha, according to everybody, the millions of devotees, he's a humble person. He even spoke, this Lord Shiva, he says, I don't speak out of envy and everything, very gently. He spoke very gently and everything, but it was hiding that it was impurities in. It's not transcendental humility. That's a special potency. And then he was there. It was disguising envies and jealousies still. See, you got to associate with real devotees who have this transcendental potency, and then you get purified of these things. And then and some, like Lord Caitanya was considered very humble, right? But did you ever see the other moods he has sometimes? See him when he gets angry? The devotees were very afraid. The devotees were afraid. It was like Nishingadev. Okay. Intense. So it's
I have felt that in Jagannath Puri. Yeah. I have felt that in Jagannath Puri. I thought I got the mercy of Lord Nisrimadev. I became so powerful and I felt so much protection.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything, but I think it was Lord Caitanya. Later, I thought it must have been Lord Caitanya.
Oh, everything's inside Lord Caitanya, all incarnations. They come out when necessary. Did you chastise those crying school people with anger?
No, because that was Puri. That was in Mayapur. Jagannath Puri came much later.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't chastise them.
What is this? A crying school without any crying? What is this baloney, man? What is this?
I was spiritually too young.
Yeah. It takes a while to get with the program, right? Yeah. So Truman says, but if I were to laugh and fake, you would more likely believe I am ecstatic. How do you know if it's not imitation? All imitate each other in the world for a sage experience. Oh yeah. Well, one thing's if you have real ecstasy, you'll have the signs of having deeper understanding too. That increases simultaneously your transcendental knowledge. That's how I could tell, because actually Narayan Raj had some kind of things he would squirt out once in a while, but I didn't like the conclusions. To me, it wasn't like, it was something wrong there, and I saw some hidden things, jealousies, and very subtle, But you can only pick it up if you have this kind of stuff.
But we would see it if you would laugh and fake. We don't believe, because you feel it on the vibrations if you're ecstatic, yes or no. It touches the heart.
Yeah, that too.
Ecstatic devotees recognize that.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I got just kind of a buzz. I buzzed, kind of a buzz. There was a kind of a liberation energy. because he used to do a lot of austerities and stuff. You get a potency. Also this Radhakund Babaji, that was a real dacoit, man. He had a kind of energy too. He could like control minds. Yeah. And he would do a kind of a repetitive thing, and he would repeat himself a lot. And I was, what the hell? I didn't know what he was doing until after the fact. He was like doing some kind of programming, kind of like the world does. See, the chanting in this association is similar, but it has a transcendental result because our hearts are purified by this bhakti. So it liberates people from this. These guys have evil intentions. See, when they use religion, or they use politics, or they use the mind control stuff, techniques, because their hearts are not purified. See, so otherwise, the same thing. I would not be able to really. We would not have these results here if this wasn't real bhakti. Yeah. That's the whole thing for my ex-wife, is to discern that out, how this is different than what she was into with Narayan Raj and the Radhakund Babajis. This is different, but it's subtle, but everything is a lesson for the living entities. She'll get, everybody gets when they're ready. That's why, people come, and some people go, some people stay, and it's great. Whoever stays, they make the best friends, the deepest friends. Yeah, the ego, the false ego. It's not the ego. The false ego is the great. See, the real ego is we're servants of the Lord. That's our identity. See, the Mayavadis think it's the ego. They just say it's all ego. Let me just destroy the ego and merge with God, and then you get the biggest ego, the false idea that you're God. That's the worst of all. Oh, I'm actually God. And you never get over it. Like David Icke, this is what you get. You can analyze, literally. Not that I don't judge per se. I judge, but don't judge. So I look at David Icke, I look at these persons, and I could see the Lord, because my Lord sees. You don't think he's going to give his devotees who are tight with him the same kind of sight to judge things? That's why Jesus said, "Judge not, lest ye shall be judged, but my judgment is just." When you're really close with the Lord, you judge like the Lord, but it's just, and you don't. It's not like you hate. See, if you're blinded by hate or attraction, desire or hate for certain things in the world, then you can't see. You can't judge justly. But if you keep doing this ecstatic devotion, whatever you are, you'll see your heart gets purified more and more and more, and then you see like the Lord without independent vision. And you're good with it. It's great, man. Hey, man, the Lord, if I didn't have this sight, I wouldn't be able to do this job right. I would be down and I wouldn't get up. That's not complete either, though that is judgment according to perspective. All right. Yeah, okay. See, that is complete. See, you're thinking it's judgment towards perspective. You're thinking from the material point of view. Perspective in its pure sense is perspective, God's perspective. It's like opinions. People gave up their opinions, right? Give up their perspectives. But then there's another perspective, God's perspective. Like Prabhupada said, we don't have our opinions. We have Krishna's opinions. See? We take shelter of Krishna's opinions. I preach Krishna's opinions. If anybody tells me, Gauri, my opinion is different than yours. What is it, because I'm, oh yeah, well, my opinion is not my opinion. It's Krishna's opinion. And I prove it. I'll point it out in the book, man. Or you'll have inference, like you say, oh, well, what is this? It's a perspective. You're saying, well, no, we should have no perspective? No. Because there's perspective here in this world, that means there's transcendental perspective. That's the shadow. Man's perspective is a shadow of God's perspective. We have the Bhagavatam. We have Chaitanya Leela, which is God's perspective, God's opinion. See? And the more we worship the Lord with Bhagavad Gita 10:10, we get the right perspective, his perspective. And preaching that, whoever takes shelter of the perspective I've taken shelter of, or you're taking shelter of, will become like you and me, and we'll be friends eternally in the kingdom, even while we're here. Not really material point of view. Yeah, but there's a spiritual point of view. Okay? No, we should have discriminating intelligence. Should. You just get that when you just follow this path, stay with these devotees here, chant to the point where you become more increasingly attracted and attached to the Lord and ecstatically blissful, like Radha. You see how she's very happy and all that. She just stays here, faith in this, and just by and by, you'll just have discriminating intelligence. Not should have, you just will have. If there's a should in there, there's some little bit of Maya in that. It's not a should, it just is when you get purified. Very brilliant man's perspective is a shadow of God. Yeah, even the most brilliant perspective of man is just a shadow of God's perspective. People still take shelter. That's why in religion you might have persons who are great speculators. You like say Acharya Dev. You might think he's brilliant. He's great. He's intelligent, right? He's funny. He's studied. He quotes verses like the wind. Okay? But the question is he speculating? And from what I say, I'm speculating right from the foundation. By the foundation of being a spiritual master without this special potency we're talking about today. That dunamis power, that transcendental potency that makes you excessively sure, abundantly sure of what you say and what you do, okay? What you teach. Because it's almost like the Lord is teaching. It's almost like the devotees teach. Hard to tell because it's both. That's the kind of relation you get from following this path here, which is Lord Caitanya. This is his path, man. Isn't it? Haven't you seen? Can't you see those getting the mercy here, like Lalita and whoever else, that they're tasting like Lord Caitanya? Didn't he come to taste the nectar of the holy name and distribute it? Isn't that what people are doing here? Not only me, but my disciples and friends. But that is higher perspective, perhaps, that some can never enter into understanding. Well, Tarun, your odds are very favorable just by being here that you will understand these things in due course. If not in this life, for sure in the next. You'll come already advanced from the get-go, but I think you will know. You just stick it out, stay faithful. And the more clear you'll see, there's nothing like this on the planet. There's nothing like this in ISKCON. There's nothing like this in Gaudiya Math, Gaudiya Samiti, or the Radhakund Babajis. Been there, done that. I've been there. All of those guys. See, I'm not an inexperienced person. If there was something better, because they all told me there was. So I said, let me see. Let me check it out. I'm like that, man. You something better, I'm going to. That's like, tell me something better now. Anybody, tell me, is there something in any of these gurus? I already checked them all out. I haven't found anything better. So I say, any of you out there that watch this video, show me where there's something like this. There could be. You never know. I mean, it's a big world, right? A lot of beings here. But, from what I see so far, I haven't found. And if there is something like this, it'll be the same path. the devotee will be tasting the nectar of the name to the point of the tears that Lord Caitanya had, to the point of the laughter that Lord Caitanya had, at least to some degree, to the choking up and all these beautiful symptoms of true love. They've found true love in this world. And if you're not like that, you're not the real guru in the Gaudiya Vaishnava line. It's just a fact. You're just filling in for a time. You'll leave your position, you'll have to. Unless you take to this preaching, then you can keep your position. Otherwise, for your benefit, hold that thought. For your benefit, the Lord will bring you down. For your benefit.
XRP 0.45.
That's why everything, this is like, this world is like Las Vegas, the gambling place. You go there, you think you're going to win. The living entities come here, they think they're going to win. Klaus Schwab thinks he's going to win everything. He's gambling everything. His energy, his time, and everything. That's what we got. We come to this world, and the Lord gives us a certain amount of time and energy, right, and focus, and we think we're going to win. He thinks he's going to win if he controls the world and everything. And it's always a loss. The house always wins. Maya. They serve Maya. The house wins. Maya wins. And you, as a living being, lose. And ultimately going up to heaven, down to hell, up to the earth, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You finally say, I'm tired. I'm tired of being insects and microbes and dogs and the cats and on, and then a human being and up and down. I'm exhausted. I'm ready to listen. And then if you're lucky, you meet a bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, you go back into Vishnu's body and you're just dormant in there. You haven't developed transcendental service. You don't know what that is. You're just in the waiting room. You ever see these movies? Don't ask Lolita, of course. They're in the waiting room, waiting to be incarnated. And then the Lord shits you out, or out of the pores, the impurities come out. You notice impurities come out of the pores when you sweat, right? That's us. The impurities come out, the material universe. He just sweats them out. He's had enough of this. Time for detoxing, and all the living entities come out. And then they live their toxic lives. Until you somehow or other you meet somebody here who's gotten the mercy of Lord Caitanya like we have. And then you hang out with us and we get purified, and we transcend the sweat glands of Vishnu. We go right through his pores. He's very porous for the devotees. Right through his pores, right through the body there of Vishnu, into the, through the river of Raj, and through the Mayavadi, the impersonalness. You keep going until you right into the transcendental body of the Lord. Even while you're here, you don't have to go anywhere. You just consciousness. So it's good. Thank you, Tarun, for sharing. Yeah, everybody should be honest. It's great, because we all learn like that. So be honest. Don't be afraid of Freddie. You keep being Freddie, being honest there, no matter what Freddie says. Freddie's. So we can see where you're at. Don't worry. Don't listen to Freddie. Just be yourself. I like your comments, man.
Never listen to Freddie, Tarun.
This is a long learning process. Hey, man, it never ends. Prabhupada's still learning. Why not? How dare you? No, Prabhupada, he's all knowing. You think he's supposed to be like you think. You want to be God, you want to be guru, and you think like that. Even Krishna likes to learn more about himself. Why wouldn't Prabhupada? Like, I love learning. I just never stop learning, man. I come here every day as a student, you know? No, you think I just come to think I'm a great teacher? You only become a great teacher when you're an eternal student, man. I'm like one of these, people go to college and they stay in college. Like one of those. I never leave college, man. Perpetual student. Go right on to being a professor, Did Freddie say something? Oh, you missed it, that. No problem. Don't worry about it. You are a transcendental what? Provocateur? What does he mean there, Lalita?
Maybe he means that, because I don't know that word.
I think so too.
Prevaricator?
Provocateur, yeah. I'm
Provocateur.
very provocative.
You are, yeah.
Provoking. I like to provoke people. I like to poke them, Poke these persons. See if they pop. I'm going to see if I can offend any alleged guru. Insult them. I'm going to see if they're like Vishnu and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I think you're a great teacher, but maybe not the only. Well, see,
bring the others.
Maybe. Okay. Well, yeah, that's why I say I leave it open. I say, yeah, maybe there's somebody else, but the greatest teacher you're going to find in this universe, not only world, is somebody who can taste the nectar of the name and spread it to others. Now, is that false ego or is that just the truth? Why is it the truth? You should ask, why is that the truth? It's because that was Lord Caitanya. He's the greatest spiritual master of the whole universe. Why? Because he could taste the nectar of the holy name. See? And he could pass it on to others. If you're like that, then the Lord makes you the greatest teacher in the world. So if anybody's like that, they're also a great teacher. And you say, but a lot of people say that like that. Well, you're not the only teacher. Well, bring somebody, show me somebody. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. But if you're not contacting that somebody could taste the nectar of the holy name to the point of tears and laughing like a mad woman, like this lady, and be called a demon to prove that she's impervious to lies and cheaters and cheating, okay? Then this is probably it. Provocateur is a person who is a superior, Prevaricator is in a superior position, a judge by instance, and acts in unjust ways, knowing the ways are unjust. In the material world, that's a crime. Here, it's an incentive to more attachment. That's interesting. I got to think about that. We shouldn't think we are the only guru. That takes caution. Again, you see, it sounds like to me you're projecting that on me, because haven't I not said, if there's another guru out here that's really, I'm teaching the highest standard, and that's a fact. Lord Caitanya taught the highest standard. Nityananda taught the highest standard by manifesting, by example. Gaurharidas, as foolish as he looks and foolish as you may think he's saying, is teaching the highest standard. His disciples who get this mercy are teaching the highest standard of being a disciple in receiving this mercy. That's why they will go on and become gurus automatically, easily, spontaneously. Already they're becoming. People go to their classes because they get taste because they get taste. Okay? I leave it open. If there's anybody else out there, okay, great, then they're that. You could just say, okay, maybe they're not coming here or whatever, But still, that's the standard. But you yourself point one out that has those qualifications. I bet you can't. I bet you haven't run across one. If you have, tell me and I'll investigate. Lalita will investigate. She's good at smoking them out, if they're real or not. If they pass her test, then we'll consider them bona fide. Otherwise, we'll consider them boneheads.
You know, it's a kind of provocation as well to say, I'm the only one. You can provoke. Let them come.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Gauri Das and Lalita Ganga are the only ones here that have real ecstatic devotion, other than Johan and Janaki and Govinda and a few others, quite a few others. We're the only Sangha with real ecstatic bhakti. So we're provoking you guys out there. Anybody want to take the challenge? We threw the gauntlet down, threw the handkerchief down. You throw your handkerchief down. Let's see if it's wet. Come on, Radhanath, throw your handkerchief down. I want to see if it's wet. Bring it to our Sangha. I'll fly somebody out to you over there, to wherever your handkerchief is, and we'll have them do the field test. They want to pick it up and see how wet it is. And you can fly somebody over here and see how wet our handkerchiefs are. So we'll have a tournament. We'll have a tournament here. All ISKCON and all the authorities in ISKCON are invited to try their hand. Some or many will fake it. Well, let's see you fake enough tears to fill these handkerchiefs, man.
Let them try to fake it.
Yeah.
Let them try.
Let's see if they can fake it. The only way you could fake the one with the snot is if you have the flu, and we'll test for you. We'll do the PCR test on you and see if you got the flu. That doesn't even work, actually. That's a big fake out. When you accuse somebody of lying, you are saying that person was intentionally dishonest. No bones about it. I never heard of that word. Is less accusatory, softens the bluntness of the lie. Yeah, okay. That's why the demoniac is winning. Why is the demoniac winning? So many will fake it till they make it. Oh, that's why the demoniac is winning. They don't even fake it, man. They fake it by illusioning you. They don't fake it by these standards, by trying to cry or blow your nose or just have deep understanding of the Vedas. That has been lost. We're reviving it. That's what a revival is of the real standard that's already was brought here 550 years ago. Yeah. See, Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta Bhaktivinoda, they were just getting it ready they were doing the preliminary work for the real standard. Otherwise, they would have shown it. It wasn't complete with them. That's why you see Prabhupada's very happy that, I was worshiping the Lord in ecstasy and people were coming. He confirmed it. He didn't even, it's not like he did order it, but still he said, yeah, you're doing exactly what I want you to do. You do more of that. So I always considered myself his servant. I knew that when I came to ISKCON and got Prabhupada's books, I came to serve him. I knew I was his servant. And then when I left, I lost faith in Prabhupada because they were giving me the fake out. And then I left for a while. Then I got Prabhupada's books again, and it all came back, what I got from the original. And I had that realization, I'm a servant of Prabhupada. I'm here to serve him. And then I started to do like that. And then he appeared and say, yeah, he has my approval.
The order has been given to one Acharya Guru Maharaj. It's the cyclic line. The order has been given from Srila Prabhupada to you. It's clear. It's clear. We are popping up one after the other.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are faking it to some degree because they're saying they're getting orders and all that, like that one guy that we had to block. Ram Das Vishvasi speaks, big face, big head, to make him. That's what they do. Even in ISKCON, that Bhagavan Das. I went to a lunch over in Italy once, and outside the mansion, see, they always met there. It's always big mansions, big lunch. I'm going to tell you about the lunch. But he also had a big picture of himself. The guy was huge on the mansion front, man. I thought, this guy is huge. He's big. And then I went and saw him. He's just a little short guy. Nothing. I thought, this guy, and they had this big picture of him. See, this is the Machiavelli thing, to make everything look big. And that's why they do always big deed. See, they don't have big bhakti, so you got to do big something else. See, I'm into big bhakti, man. No big bhakti. I like big realizations, big revelations in alignment with the revealed scriptures. You see, okay, well, that's the place, man. Everything else, they got to do big deities, big temples. See, big externals. Everything but big bhakti. The bigger those things are, the smaller the bhakti is. Real neophyte. You notice here, the bigger the bhakti here, the less we have temples, right? The less we don't even care. Who even needs to go? We just erect our preaching temple like this. And the whole world can come in here. Yeah, if you got a camera, we can put, the whole world is the temple. What about, okay, what do we got here? What about ecstatic devotees who live in remote places and don't have internet? They can't hear you to be challenged. So it's just like they don't exist. What can I say? What we don't know, we don't know. It's just like, well, what about, all these people? They're enlightened too, Gohari. Look, everybody is enlightened. Everybody is liberated soul because that same God is in them as in you. Except for one difference. I'm aware, and others are aware here. Others are becoming aware of that God here because they're following the process. See? That's different than being in ISKCON and unaware of the Lord of their own hearts. If they were, I'll tell you, to be honest with you, if they were aware of the Lord of their own hearts, they would be here in a heartbeat. Why? Oh, is that true, Gohar? Yeah, it's very true if you believe Ramananda Roy. Ramananda Roy said, if pure devotional service is available somewhere, you should immediately drop everything and you should go there. But they don't, do they? Because they don't understand that preaching. I drop everything and immediately come here every day, multiple times. Yeah. Because it's that valuable, man. My God, every day is just, my good fortune increases every day. I notice how that works, Alita? She knows. She has personal experience of her good fortune increasing every day. That's the spiritual potency, man. Okay? If you don't, why wouldn't you believe her witness, people? ISKCON. Here she's got the real spiritual potency. She could teach the real way to get it. You can't teach the real way. You don't even have it. You don't even know what it is. You can't glorify it. You can't point it out in the revealed scriptures. True, mode of goodness is fake in Kali Yuga. A duplicitous mind can always turn against each other. Demons all over everything. Take courage and stand. Well, you see, mode of goodness, it's not fake. There's people in the mode of goodness in Kali Yuga. Not everybody. Maybe most have passion and ignorance. But there are people, they cultivate. You can cultivate the mode of goodness. I would say Narayan Raj was in the mode of goodness at least, if not liberated. But you see, I preach something even different. There are other teachers, but it's not good enough if you want deliverance. Some of these Radhakund Babajis are in the mode of goodness. There's some good ones out there, but it's not good enough. I am here to teach what is transcendental. So I have to point that out too. Most people think that's transcendental. They think, if we can just get to the mode of goodness, that was Prabhupada's creed. If I can just get them to be Brahmins and regulative devotees, so they can get a human birth or be amongst Brahmins in India in their next life or something, that'd be great. Well, we're going a few steps beyond that. The ego will squirm before that absolute and throw accusations from this book. Yeah, exactly. That's why we're provocateurs here. Provocative.
XRP 0.4576.
Yeah.
Tarun says, but he didn't think he was the only true guru, Prabhupada. He knew very good that he had bhakti and his godbrothers had no bhakti. Prabhupada knew that very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he said, don't associate, don't go there. He knew this very good.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter. His godbrothers might have been in the mode of goodness, but Daksha was in the mode of goodness. It wasn't good enough. I'm here to preach deliverance. If you misunderstand the mode of goodness for pure goodness, you're baffled still. It's not good enough, man. You can't enter the kingdom because you got to see things as they are. You'll see a good person, and that person, like Daksha, he was up in the demigods. He still had envy, jealousy, competition. All these things are the faults in the mode of goodness. See? Because it's part of the material modes. See? So even in heaven, if you see Shiva, Shiva came, not that they're all pure devotees are like that, but he happened to be in charge of the mode of ignorance. So he has these are like weapons, and these are things. He has snakes around his neck. These are his tools of the trade, but only he can wield them because he's a pure devotee. See, that's why devotees, you get real devotion. You can do things like be around snakes. You can handle snaky people and not be polluted. Because the Lord purifies you, like Shiva's purified by his bhajan, by his remembrance of the Lord, transcendental Lord. Of ourselves, even Shiva can do nothing on his own. It's because he is empowered by the Lord, the transcendental Lord. Same thing, Brahma. Brahma could not create, even though he's the firstborn person, everything. He could not create till he got this special power to do that job of creation here. The same thing with Guru, man. You cannot do the job that's being done here by this guy, Gaur Das, unless you are empowered by the Lord. Because the real position is not the false guru, not the false prophet, not the false acharya, is the real spiritual master. It's just you have to be empowered, just like Brahma is empowered to create. This is a job, a position. You can't even be a real disciple like Lalita unless you're empowered. She can't have these realizations on their own. It's the empowerment of the Lord empowering her to be a real disciple. Otherwise, she would have gotten a little ecstatic. You ever see some of those that leave here? They get a little ecstasy. Oh, and now I'm just as good as you guys, you see? And they got some rays, man. They go out and then they'll lose them too. They go and peter out after a while. They got some rays. Oh, okay, I can imitate now. Oh, I'm just as good as you, just as good as Guru. I'm just as good as God. That's what you're kind of saying there. So you're contaminated and you're down for the count till you learn your lesson. See, to be a real disciple, you have to be empowered, man. Because then because you'll have the real realizations, because God is living inside you. She can't have these realizations. These are pristine understanding how to be a real disciple. I'm not, how to be grateful. All these things come because God is in her heart. That's how it works. You can't be a guru or a real disciple unless you have special mercy. Same thing with River. Same thing with Johan. Same thing with all you guys out here that are sincerely following here. The Lord is helping you. He's helping me. He's helping everybody. Here, he's helping us in a special way. That's why you want to be helped in a special way? Well, I think you should come here. Otherwise, you're helped in a not so special way. Sometimes your helpers are like contaminated, you might think your helper is Tony Robbins, and he's helping you, but it's not as clean as it could be, because he's into money and wealth and all that. He's also into God. He's actually, over the years, he's became kind of a Christian of sorts. He doesn't talk about that, because like Prabhupada, he didn't talk about things like that, the intimate things. Prabhupada talked about religion. Tony Robbins doesn't even talk about religion. He just believes in Christ, but that wouldn't be good for his preaching out there, because a lot of his followers, they don't believe in God. They just want I want to be a good businessman. Tony Robbins looks good, man. I wasn't attracted when I watched it. You can watch his biography. This is the thing. You get into how people are. Because he's but I wouldn't want to be like him. I couldn't believe it, man. The guy is so passionate, man. He goes from one thing to another thing to another thing. He's always on schedule. That would drive me crazy, man. Everything had to be on a schedule, and he's got all these people, and he's getting a big false ego, man. Really, they're all, oh, Tony Robbins, oh, I'm his servant, oh, and I could just see him swelling, Ooh, I'm Tony, like Trump. He's got his people serving him. No, I like this. The Lord makes me 1,000 times better than that, 1,000 times more powerful than that, 1,000 times more intelligent than that. But it stays clean because, the Lord keeps me intelligent. He keeps me on the beam. I realize without you, Lord, I can't do this. See? A lot of these people don't understand that yet. They think they're doing it because they're so intelligent on their own. See, it's the truth will set you free. Truth keeps us clear, solid. I just think Bhagavad Gita, all these beautiful verses come. The Lord just keeps feeding them. So everything on the foundation of truth. I'm the intelligent of the intelligent. Oh yeah, thank you, Lord. Thanks for the reminder. Okay? How can you glory in yourself when that Bhagavad Gita verse is there, that he's the intelligent of the intelligence? That'll put you in your right position. Okay? And so he's also the less intelligent. Whatever intelligence you have, that's the Lord. That's why ultimately we need devotional intelligence. That's being preached here. Bhagavad Gita 10:10 intelligence. Revelations. Transcendental knowledge as it is. Krishna's opinion and relishing Krishna's opinion. Relishing Krishna's understanding. It's all taste.
Receiving his opinion while you taste him.
Oh yeah, and then you get more. That's why I come here every day. I'm very eager.
XRP 0.4573.
Sacred, what do they call it? Sacred, that word this morning. Sacred, not greed, that's there too. Sacred thirst. See, like when you haven't drank enough water, you think, thirsty. And so you get more and more like that with the God's name and pastime. You're up against the wall till the mind puts out definition. You will always be a jiva until you're not. No. You will always be a jiva, whether you know it or not. See, this be a jiva until you're not, that's not conclusive. See, what's conclusive, you'll always be a jiva, whether you know it or not. You might imagine and speculate that you're God, but you're still a jiva, if that's your nature, and that's most people's nature here. You might be a plenary portion, but you'll have the symptoms of that. Okay. I'm getting hungry. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been fun.
He would go out at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Haribo, Haribo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Haribo.
So Tarun says, how do you know you're a jiva between life and death? That's not exactly it. That's, again, not conclusive. The living beings in this world, most 99.9% of them are jivatmas. See, this we know from the Vedas. See? They're part and parcel, minute living souls, and they sit between the spiritual potency and the material potency. See, this transcendental knowledge, this is all in the Vedas. See, and then we can choose to serve the spiritual potency or the material potency. So if you predominantly serve, see, if you meet the real devotees, they can give you the power to serve the transcendental potency. But you got to get that power to do it. Otherwise, it's just religion. See, you speculate, and then you're still doing external bhakti. See, so religion is still part of that external potency, external bhakti. It's something, but but Lord Caitanya came to give us that transcendental potency that gives us increasing attraction to the Lord, not just vaidhi, but actually attachment, and you get that by hearing from devotees who are deeply attached to the Lord. There's no other real practical way. See, now you begin to serve the spiritual potency simply by hearing, and you start to feel the enlivenment of serving the spiritual potency. It's different. You start to feel good. You start to be free, emancipated from your problems and all of that. See, simply by hearing, you start waking up now to what is more like that. And so you just stay immersed in that association regularly. And then it becomes more and more a part of your life. You become more tendency to serve the transcendental Lord and less to serve the illusion. To some extent, we have to keep the body and soul together, but not to be just totally engrossed. See, people, a lot of them, most are just totally engrossed in the Maya. They're not cultivating their spiritual life. They're not coming to Sadhu Sangha. They don't know its value. That's why Vaidhi is a step. At least you go to some kind of Sadhu Sangha. It's not real, yet. But still, you're learning gradually. Takes longer.
Haribo. Madhava Govinda Hari Hari Bol Hari Bol Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste.
Another good comment here. Believe as you like, he says. Your hunger takes you and everyone. Yeah, but that's all many people have is hunger for the world. Hunger for money, hunger for food. See, hunger for women, hunger for men. I may have some of that, but you know what? I have also hunger for God. That most don't have. That's why you see, this is real preaching. This is balanced preaching. This is true preaching. This is not speculating, man. I'll preach like Jesus preached. Man doesn't live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. He didn't say man only
XRP 0.4564.
Not a good enough price. Man doesn't live. See, practical. I stay, I know I use my gizmos, man. Man doesn't live only by, this transcendental stuff. You gotta, take care of business here a little bit. See, so Jesus, man doesn't live by bread alone. He didn't say you don't eat any bread. He ate bread, So, yeah. So you don't have to, otherwise you're in this by austerity and renouncing, you're like, this is all illusion, man. You just got to get the transcendental potency. You just got to come here, man. You got to get the mercy that the Lord is funneling through our Sangha. And then eat your little bit of bread. So what? And you got to keep. I'm not going to be falsely renounced. I'm hungry, man. That means the fire is going in there, and I did enough of eating there for now, and I'll eat now. See, the fire is strong. That's good. That means good digestion. See, mode of goodness. You got to respect the body, honor the body. Otherwise, you're, doing austerities in the mode of passion. You do harm to the body. See. I like this intelligence that God gives me.
Then give away the sweetness of his praise.
See if we make it through the song.
Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Chaitanya.
He said something else. You're not the best as you think. Well, I happen to think I'm following the best path. I'm following the path of tasting the nectar in the holy name. I pledge my allegiance to that path. I love that path, and the revelations that come from that, and taking shelter of these wonderful teachings and truths of the Bhagavatam and these other books. I think it's the best. You could show me something that's better, or someone better at it. I don't mind. Jesus was like the best and beyond. Yeah? Well, you know what? Here is the upgrade. Otherwise, Tarun, you're like those guys, the Pharisee followers. Oh, God's not going to ever send another servant other than Moses, giving us the same teaching, the eye for the eye and a tooth for the tooth. See?
Jesus is a Vaishnava just like you.
Yeah. And Jesus was 2,000 years or 1,500 years before Lord Caitanya. Lord Caitanya is the latest incarnation, with the latest teaching, the upgrade, and that has been lost for a little bit. We're here to revive. Lord Chaitanya's, there's nothing to improve upon the path that the Lord brought. It's just to get people into that path. How they can come to the point of taste. Like, that's the path. Did I say that? No, I don't know. So that was very nice, yeah. Do you ask him just now? Did you ask him now? Oh, I don't know. Okay, back to the song. It's getting too complicated here. That's enough of the song. Hey, I'll see